Carbon Tax Carney's heat pump hustle. What you need to know. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. Well, today in question period, Michael Barrett brought up a very concerning issue, and that was Carbon Tax Carney's association with the heat pump industry. Now, if you own a heat pump, you're already aware of the inefficiencies that the government doesn't seem to share very often with the population. But you may not know about Carbon Tax Carney's relationship to the heat pump industry. And if you don't have a heat pump, this is information you really need to know. Let's first take a look at an exchange during question period today, and then we'll discuss it.
The Honourable Member from Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands and Rideau Lakes.
In another conflict of interest involving this Liberal government's de facto finance minister, we found out that he's been caught using his access to lobby governments to benefit himself and his company. It's Carbon Tax Carney's heat pump hustle. And he's claiming it's green policy, but his only policy is to line his pockets with green. And this Prime Minister is shielding him from Canada's conflict of interest laws and lobbying regulations after 9 years of these NDP Liberals. Taxes are up, costs are up, crime is up, and time is up. Will they just have Carbon Tax Carney testify at committee?
The Honourable Leader of the Government in the House of Commons.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, the Conservatives, when they have Canadians that oppose their policies, all they know how to do is attack them. Instead of respecting people and their differences of opinions, they go after them personally. Mr. Speaker, that's not how leaders in this country should act. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member from Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands and Rideau Lakes.
Well, I can assure the member opposite that Canadians take it personally, that every time that they're given the opportunity, they don't help out Canadians, but instead help out well-connected Liberal insiders like Mark Carney with his heat pump hustle. Carbon Tax Carney, conflict of interest Carney. It's stacking up in such a way that we can't even keep track of all the scandals involving the de facto finance minister when the Prime Minister lost confidence in the finance minister. So now Canadians want answers about the access that Carbon Tax Carney has been given and all the Canadian tax dollars that he's lining his pockets with. Will they just instruct the de facto finance minister to testify at committee?
The Honourable Leader of the Government in the House of Commons.
Mr. Speaker, again, there they go attacking private citizens. And it just goes to show anytime a Canadian citizen speaks up against them, what do? They go on the personal attack. But, Mr. Speaker, I have a question for the Conservatives and the Conservative leader. Why won't he get his security clearance, Mr. Speaker? It's a question Canadians across this country are asking because they want to know what and who is he trying to protect. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
As you can see, Michael Barrett brought up the issue of Carbon Tax Carney's relationship to the heat pump industry. He called it the heat pump hustle that Carbon Tax Carney is in on. And this should be of great concern to everybody. But before we talk about that, let's talk about the real issue of heat pumps. And as I said earlier, if you have a heat pump, you already know this information. But if you're looking to get a heat pump, you need to know this. Heat pumps are not as efficient as the government leads you to believe. In fact, they don't work below 4 degrees Celsius. So if the temperature in the wintertime drops below 4 degrees Celsius, you're still going to need a furnace. I live in British Columbia. In fact, the area that I live in, British Columbia, happens to be the warmest climate in Canada, and that's the Cowichan Valley. And I have a heat pump, but I can't use it year-round. I still need a furnace. But not only that, if you're using your heat pump to heat your home when the temperature is above 4 degrees Celsius, you're paying a lot of money. Even though they're trying to price natural gas out of the market, natural gas is still more A, efficient, and B, cost-effective than electricity. If you're using electricity, you're going to pay a lot more to heat your home. And then when you find out you can't heat your home for a large portion of the year, well, why get a heat pump? I actually like my heat pump, even though it's costly and I can't use it to heat my home. Instead, I use it to cool my home in the summertime. So yes, my electric bill goes up, but it makes surviving the summer heat so much more bearable. So heat pumps do have their place and do have their use. But this lie that the government is trying to sell us, that heat pumps are the answer, they're not. Not when it comes to heating your home. Because even though I live in the warmest climate in Canada, I can't use my heat pump to heat my home during the wintertime. And if I did during most of the year, when the temperature was above 4 degrees Celsius, well, I would go broke. And now we find out that Carbon Tax Carney's business is related to the heat pump industry. Well, isn't that convenient? As soon as he became the de facto finance minister, the government started giving him contracts, his business contracts, to the tune of multi-billions of dollars. And now this. And that's even after the SDTC scandal came to light. So it doesn't seem like the government has learned anything. They're just continuing on the corrupt ways. By the time we get rid of Trudeau and this corrupt government, this country will be unrecognizable. But that's just my opinion. I'd love to know what you think. Put your comments down below. And while you're at it, please like this video and share with your friends and on social media. Also, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and hit that bell notification so you never miss another video. I would also like to invite you to join me on Thursday evenings at 6 p.m. Pacific time for my live stream, where you can join in on the conversation. Also, if you're interested in obtaining your firearms license, aka your PAL, I do teach that course. I'm located on Vancouver Island, so you would have to attend in person. But if you're interested in taking the course, which is a prerequisite for your firearms license, there are links in the description of this video to my website where you can sign up to take that course, and I'd love to teach it to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.